Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a cute little spring gnome. I am not really using any Zentangle patterns in this one. It's more of just a quick little drawing lesson. So hopefully you enjoy it. I'm using a Micron PN plastic nib pen. I've got a graphite pencil to do some drawing and shading and a blending tool. We really need a pencil for this one because we're going to do a lot of our drawing before we put down our ink. And today I'm using a larger tile, a 3" by 3" Zentangle tile. You can do this on whatever you have. Before we get started, I wanted to say hello to somebody that I met a couple of days ago at an art class. His name is Brendan. He is 10 years old. And also hello to Brendan's entire class and to his teacher, who was a good friend of mine, Mrs. Schroeder. And Brendan said that they do these Zentangle videos in their class sometimes. And that just makes me so happy. So hello, Brendan. Hello to your whole class. And I hope you guys like this little gnome. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start by picking up our pencil. And we're going to put a dot in each of the 4 corners. And then we're going to connect those dots with our pencil to make a little frame for our work. Okay, so whenever I draw a gnome, I like to start with his nose. So I'm going to try to find the halfway point of my tile, and I'm going to draw a nose probably a little bit smaller than my fingernail. So a little oval, pencil it in, make the shape that you would like. And then for the bottom of his hat, I'm going to do almost like a little happy face, little curve there. Come up over the nose and curve down on the other side. And for this gnome and this hat, we're going to have some bunny ears sticking out of the hat. So if you don't want bunny ears, you can just draw the hat. But I'm going to go above the nose on each side, put little dots. I'm going to make nice, wide bunny ears. And they can go right over that pencil, right over your frame if you need to. It's okay. Okay, we've got those in. Now we're going to draw the rest of the hat. So the hat's going to come up and it's going to go behind the ears, have a little point, and then come back down the other side. Okay, before I draw in his beard, he's going to be holding an egg. So over here, basically touching the hat, I'm going to put in an Easter egg that's wider on the bottom and thinner on top. I'm going to make his little hand, so a little thumb in his hand as if he's holding that. And then I'm going to go down here and make his feet because this guy has the cutest little feet. So very lightly with my pencil, I'm going to draw 2 pretty big bumps underneath his hat. So kind of one on each side of his nose. And I'm going to leave those there in pencil for a minute. Okay, now I'm going to put in his beard on this side, and I like to make his beard go kind of wide. So I just do a little line going out, and I come in a little bit, go back out a little bit, come in. And I'm just going to kind of leave that there for a minute, and I'm going to come down on this side and leave that there because we've got some things to add to his feet before I finish off the beard. All right, the last thing we're going to pencil in over here is a giant carrot. If you would rather do a flower or another egg or a basket, put whatever you would like in it. But I'm going to make a carrot, and it's going to be a triangle shape with a rounded top. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it behind his beard like that. I'm going to draw his little hand over here, holding that. Up on top, I'm going to put just some little leaves. And we can add some details later. Okay, if he looks good, then we're ready to add our ink. So pick up my pen. I'm using a Micron PN plastic nib pen. Any pen you have will be great. And I'm going to start with his nose. That pen doesn't work. All right, start by tracing his nose, and I like to give him a little bit of a reflection on his nose so it looks a little rounded. And then I'm going to do the bottom of his hat, and I'm going to go ahead and follow right over his nose and come back down to the egg. I'm going to ink in those ears, and now if you want to change them at all, you can. I'm going to make mine go a little bit more out to the side. And then inside those ears, I'm going to add an aura, which is just this line inside. So same shape, we're just putting it inside. And I like to add a little bit of maybe some little fur coming up into his ear. And now I'm going to trace that part of the hat that goes up, comes to a rounded point, and then back down. If your egg goes over your hat at all, then make sure you leave space for that. So before I do my egg, the first thing I'm going to do is his little hand, because I don't want to ink over that. And then I just go ahead and trace my egg. Now we're going to jump down to his cute little feet. So to make this kind of Eastery and fun, we're going to give this little guy some bunny slippers. So here's how we make our bunny slippers. I'm going to follow this line, but I'm going to make it kind of a jagged edge as if he's wearing fluffy slippers. And then I'm going to ink in this bottom line here so we have the bottom of the slippers. And I'm going to give him a little nose right on the ground and two little eyes. And then he's going to get bunny ears. So each one is going to have these little tiny ears sticking up. Look how cute those are. And I like to give him two whiskers on each side. I can go ahead and fill in the beard on the right-hand side. And then his beard's going to come down in between them. So I'm just going to add a little detail of beard right there. And I can do the beard on the other side. Then I'm going to ink in, well, before I do the carrot, let's do his little hand. And then ink in the carrot. On the top of the carrot and some little accent lines. And for the carrot, I'm going to put some lines across, but I'm going to kind of curve them a little bit and then come down. Curve it and go over. So just a couple little lines, not even all the way across. Then I'm going to do some coming out the other side. So the other side is behind the beard. So I just need little lines that look like they're coming out that way. It's just a carrot. You can add more or less if you would like. Okay, before we add any details to the hat and the egg, I'm going to ink in the rest of my frame. So I'm just going right across those lines, jumping over any ears or a hat that come in the way. And I'm going to give him a second line for the border. And then you can do any design you would like in the border. I'm just going to do some little dashes. And I like to do little clusters of 2 or 3, and then maybe a cluster of 4 and 1. I just like how this little frame looks. With this added detail. Look how cute that looks. Add those all the way around, or whatever design you would like to do. I love his little bunny slippers. They're so cute. Okay, so now we're going to do his hat. And to do his hat, I did not pick a Zentangle pattern for this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that line like of the bottom of the hat. I'm just going to follow that and put in another stripe and then another one. And I'm going to do those all the way up his hat. And then you can put whatever patterns or designs you would like in here. So I'm going to do, let's see, I think I'm just going to do some of those straight lines in this one. This is where you get to be creative. one of them, I'm going to do some zigzags. Some loops. Maybe I'll do some polka dots on here. And some bumps. I'm going to do another row of lines. And the last one I'll put in just some circles. That looks cute. Then we have the egg. So I like to do my eggs with this little curve, like a smile face. Double line on the top and a double line on the bottom. It gives it that Easter egg look, and it gives it a look of being round. And then you can do whatever pattern you want. In the center, I'm going to do these little flowers that are a spiral. And then have little petals around them. And maybe add a dotted line, some stripes inside the stripes. Now over here on the ground, I'm going to put in some grass, some little jagged edges of grass. And along the frame, I like to put these little, like a little knot or a little bow. Just seems kind of springy to me. And if you've got a lot of space and you want to add something dangling down, you could put a little bow and then an egg maybe. Just if you want to. Inside his beard, I like to put just a few little lines to add some shape. And of course, this would be amazing if you colored it in. So it'd be beautiful in color. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading. I'm going to initial my work. I'm going to add some shading and then we're going to be done. So thank you so much for joining me. Brendan, it was wonderful to meet you. I hope I see you again. I hope your class enjoyed this and I hope your teacher had fun. We'll see you next time. All right, if you're going to shade, go ahead and keep following along. I'm going to start with his ears and I'm going to shade all the way around them. Just adding a little bit of pencil all the way around. I take my blending tool and I push that out and away. Look at how those little ears kind of pop off the page now. And then with my blending tool, I'm going to put a little bit inside the ears. Just a little bit of a shadow. Now I'm going to go under his hat and under his nose. And maybe a tiny bit up here under the hat. And that gives just the slightest little shadow. Under his nose. So cute. Now I'm going to go around the outside of the egg. Around his hand. That's going to have a little shadow. With my blending tool, I'm just going to put a little bit on his beard in a couple places. Give it some dimension. Then I'm going to go all the way around the little bunny slippers. Doesn't need a lot, just a tiny bit. But I kind of want those to pop off the page a little bit and stand out. So giving it just a little bit of pencil. And we'll push that out and away. Look how cute those are. I love them. All right, now I'm going to go on the outside of his beard, just because I want there to be kind of some space between his body and the background. And I'm going to go around the outside of his hat. And the outside of his beard that goes over the carrot. Always pushing away from the object you're shading. I go around the outside of the carrot, around his hand. Around the leaves. And then with my blending tool having some graphite on it, I'm going to give the carrot a little shadow, just on the inside. Also going to go on the outside of my grass, just to give that a little bit of dimension and not be so flat. And then I'm going to go on the inner part of the whole frame. This is not necessary, but I just like that background having a little bit of a shadow, separating itself from that frame just a little bit. Does not need a lot. All the way down, right over those little bunnies, over the grass. There it is. I love it. I'm not going to do any shading on the hat itself because if you add color, that will look amazing. But with my blending tool, I can put a little bit of a dark area if I want, just to make it look maybe not so flat. But I'm not really going to shade anything else. I'm just going to let it be and maybe add some color later. Same thing on the egg. I'm not really going to add anything right now. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. Cute little spring gnome. He's adorable. You can join me on my Facebook page called Let's Tangle if you want to share your little gnomes that you make. And can also like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, which helps this video get out to more people. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Brendan, for inspiring me to make something. I know you wanted a dog, but I wasn't quite ready to make a dog. So hopefully you liked this. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.